Hey girl, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jasmine if you're new here. Today we're trying some new makeup. I have the new Glossier foundation. I have the new Huda Beauty pressed powder. Excited to try it. I also have some new Fenty eye sticks, a new primer, and a new blush. I'm excited to try everything, so let's get right into the video. We're gonna get started with primer, and I'm using this one from the brand Caliray. It's called the So Blown Clean Blurring Primer with Collagen Peptides. I don't have a new product for every category, but I have quite a few new products which I'm excited to try. Ooh, that was a lot. I was not expecting it to come out so easily. Ooh, very silky. It smells good. It has like a fresh skincare smell. This feels like a skincare product, honestly. It's very hydrating on my face. It also has like a slight, not silicone, but like silicone feel. It feels pretty good. I'm gonna add some more up here. It feels pretty good. Really quickly about this primer, it says plumped and hydrated, beyond blurred, and nourished with niacinamide. So I always talk about how much I love niacinamide. It has niacinamide. It also has blurring properties. It has vitamin E, oleic acid, rich camellia oil. It has a triple peptide collagen, perfecting powders that virtually erase pores and skin imperfections. I definitely feel that. I feel like that's what's given like the silicone-y feel that I mentioned. It has this type of like pore fill-in situation going on, and then it also says it has a shot of antioxidant B3 to help prevent hyperpigmentation. Okay, there's a lot going on in this primer. It's definitely giving skincare. It feels like it, and it kind of smells like skincare as well. So definitely will be using this because it feels really nice. So far it looks good on my oily combo skin, so that's always a plus. I hate when I apply a primer and it looks like greasy right away. This looks pretty good. So we're gonna get into the next product, which I'm also really excited about. This is the new Glossier foundation. It's called Glossier Stretch. It is a fluid foundation, and I got the shade Deep 1. I did go to Sephora to find my shade, and this one felt like the best match. This is one of those foundations that's not very pigmented. Well, it's pigmented, but it's not full coverage. So I feel like with foundations that are not full coverage, it could be a little tricky with me picking my shades because I find that maybe 3 of the shades kind of work for me. So out of those 3, this one I liked the best. I love the packaging. It comes with a pump as well. This is what it looks like. This is Deep 1. I'm gonna blend it out. Not a bad match. I feel like it's a little deep, but I think it's gonna work pretty well with concealer. I think it looks good. It looks pretty good. I actually do like to go a little deeper than my complexion sometimes because it just makes balancing everything a little easier, especially like if I add a brightening concealer. This goes on really easy and like blends so nicely. This is definitely for those days where you want very light coverage. You're not looking for too much. It's definitely a medium to light to medium coverage foundation. I definitely like the finish. So really quickly on Sephora, it says long wearing natural finish, medium coverage, hydrating liquid formula. It says it's a hydrating gel cream foundation that nourishes skin for buildable light to medium coverage with natural to you finish. The coverage is definitely light to medium, and I do think the finish is a natural skin-like finish. It looks very natural. It also says it has squalane and glycerin to help hydrate the skin. It has wild rosemary and plankton extract to visibly balance shine and maintain hydration. We love that, okay? We love a hydrating foundation that also controls shine because hello. Yeah. It also has amino acid coated pigments to help fuse skin for flexible coverage as a natural to you finish. I love these claims, especially for this type of foundation, because this is something that I would wear on a day-to-day basis. I like that it has all these skincare properties, you know? Add a little bit more. I always like to see like how much coverage I can actually get, so I'm going in with a second layer. I think we build it up to kind of like a medium coverage, and I think it looks really good. So that is the new foundation. I'm liking it. Let me know what you think about it down below. All right, for concealer, I am using my Born This Way concealer. The reason why I'm using this is because I'm trying a new powder. So I want to use a concealer that I'm familiar with. That way I know exactly how the powder works. If I try something new, I won't know if it's from the concealer or the powder. So I want to see something that I already know how it works, so that way I can have an accurate opinion on the powder that I try. I'm definitely really excited about the powder. So we're gonna blend this in with the same brush. I need to do my brows as well. Like literally do them, like, you know, tweeze them, thread them, whatever the case. I need to get them done. I actually was so tempted to get a beauty blender at Sephora the other day. I saw they had like some new holiday colors and I'm like, I kind of want one. I haven't used a beauty blender to do my foundation and concealer in a while, but sometimes I miss using it for concealer. Only concealer though, not foundation. I like the brush a lot more for foundation now. Also, I actually saw a new brush from Haus Labs. They came out with a brush, a concealer brush with their concealers, and it looks pretty good. So I may get that brush because it's like smaller, so it's easier to get under my eye, which is why I kind of wanted the sponge, but maybe I'll just get the Haus Labs brush. We're gonna get into this Huda Beauty powder. This is new from Huda Beauty. I picked it up. This is their Easy Bake and Snatch Pressed Brightening and Setting Powder. This type of powder I typically use over a loose powder, but for today's purpose I'm going to use it right over my concealer so that you can see how it would work on its own. I will be using it over loose powder in the future, but for today I wanted to see it on its own. This is the packaging and I got the shade Cinnamon Bun for this powder, and this is what that looks like. I'm going to use my little triangular puff for this. You can get these on Amazon. I'll have them linked below. We're going to swipe in the powder and we're going to press. Okay, this gives very much natural finish because the color is deeper. I could have gotten the brighter color. I wasn't sure. Like, I wasn't sure if I should get Kunafa or Banana Bread, which are two other shades that I have used. But I went with this one. Actually, it is brightening. Wait a minute. Yeah. This looks really good. I'm going to add a little bit more on this side because I added a ton on the other side. I'm going to use this as my loose powder today. So wherever I would typically apply loose powder, I'm going to apply this powder instead. So I'm going to use it on my forehead, my nose, my chin, you know, the whole shebang. This looks pretty good. I definitely can use a lighter shade if I want more of a highlight. But I think this is really nice for like an everyday look, which is kind of what we're doing today since the foundation is more natural. It looks good. Okay, Miss Huda Beauty. I think this powder looks really good. I definitely like the finish. The color is really nice for everyday looks. I went ahead and did my brows, but I think the powder looks really good. I think this shade is really nice and natural. I also wanted to read a little bit about the powder on Sephora just to see if it matches my thoughts on it. So it says that it's a pressed powder, medium coverage, natural finish. I definitely agree. The coverage is medium and the finish is definitely like a natural finish. It's a creamy hydrating powder. It targets brightening, lifting, setting for medium coverage and natural finish. So I think pretty much those claims are true. It does have a nice brightening effect, which I can see immediately after applying it. You guys can probably see as well. It definitely brightened my under eye and wherever else I applied it. I do have a new blush I want to try, but first we're going to do some bronzer. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. It's not new, but it is definitely one of my favorites. So we're going to just apply that. I always like to get down here to help snatch my chin up a bit. And then I'm going to lightly do my nose with this little brush from BK Beauty. Blush today, we're using a new Dior blush. This is not new, but it's definitely new to me. Well, it is newer, I guess, but it's the shade Berry. This is their Rosy Glow blush in the color Berry. How pretty is this color? So pretty and perfect for the fall time. This is pretty. I like. I haven't worn this color blush in a while and I've been missing out because this looks so pretty. I definitely love this. For today's eye makeup, I'm using the new Fenty Beauty eye sticks. These are called the Shadowstix, a Longwear eyeshadow stick. So I have a couple shades I'm going to use today. We have in Big Truffle, which is a matte dark brown shade, and then I'm also going to use this shade, which is like a shimmer. It's called Cop That. Yeah, this one is called Cop That. It's like a shimmery copper shade, hence the name. Fenty always has the best names. So we're just going to apply this on my eyelid. I'm going to apply it from the end corner to the center of my eyelid. I'm going to use a brush for some added color. As you can see, some of the pigment just stays on my finger when I use my fingers. So adding the brush is going to help give you a little bit more color payoff. Hopefully you can see that. These would also work really well as a base to any other eyeshadow you were using if you want your eyes makeup to last really long. We're also going to use the copper shade, so I'm going to apply some of that. This one's going to be a little easier to see because it's so shimmery. It looks so pretty. Okay, Cop That is definitely copping my attention. She's pretty. I'm gonna apply the Fenty mascara, one of my favorites. This is hella thick. I want to add a little bit of this darker brown one. So we did lashes. I used the collab with Eyelure and Jasmine Brown. I'll have them linked below. But we're gonna add some more powder. I typically like to use a second coat of powder whenever I use a pressed powder under my eye. So this, I feel like it gives you a more flawless look. So I'm gonna add a second layer, and then we're gonna do lips color. But yeah, that really just, do you see how much that like pops out when you do that second layer? It really helps it pop. And typically how I do this is I'll use a loose powder at first, and then in this step is when I would use this powder to really make it pop more. So that's usually my technique and like my order of doing things. But for today, we're using this powder for both steps. I'm gonna go over my nose contour just to make it look more natural. Personally, I feel like this powder looks really good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with this Makeup Forever pencil. We're gonna use this beautiful dark brown shade. This is Maurice by Makeup by Mario. It's so pretty. I do want to add a little gloss to the center of my lips, so we're gonna add Dior. I'm gonna take this Charlotte Tilbury highlighter. I don't have a new one, but this is definitely one of my favorites. We're just gonna put it on my nose today to just add a little bit of dimension. Alright, so I am done with my makeup. I personally am really loving this new Huda Beauty powder. I think it looks beautiful. I do want to try the shade Kunufa as well, or Banana Bread, just to see what it looks like. I also love the foundation. I think it's really nice for everyday makeup, which I'm all about, a nice everyday look. I think this foundation is perfect for days where you just want a light wash of color. I also enjoyed the primer. I think it's really nice for everyday makeup. I love all the skincare benefits that it has in there. The primer I will be using for my everyday makeup looks. I think it's perfect for every day. I also love the blush. It's beautiful. Okay, if you're looking for a new fall plum blush, definitely check out that Dior one. For the Fenty eye sticks, I actually prefer the shimmer shades. I feel like they're a little easier to work with. The matte color, I feel like it pulls a little bit more than the shimmer does. Personally, I preferred it using the brush. I felt like it was easier to get more pigment. In general, I do think they're really nice for on the go, like everyday makeup, especially the shimmer shades. I think they are so pretty. So those are my thoughts on everything I tried today. Let me know what your favorite product that I used was down below in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.